Okay, I think there's some issue with the live thing. We will start.
Hari Om everyone. All of you kindly switch on your videos. Everyone here? Yes, I can see all the children smiling here. Wow, excellent. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Huh? Keep quiet, man. I know Swamiji told you to come with me, but what is this? Don't talk, don't disturb. Sit quietly, okay? Welcome all the kids here, smiling ones. Yes, I can see everybody smiling. Hariom, I'm also smiling here. Uh-oh, he also wants to say Hariom. Shh, quiet. He's Dhruva, he has come. Swamiji has sent him to me to come and talk to all of you. Okay, welcome all of you to the 7th episode of 8GHD. That is 8 glories of Hindu Dharma with our dear Swatmananda ji. So before we start the program, don't disturb, I told you. Yes, I came to remind you that we have to do Purna Kumbha. Yes. Come on, Dhruva. Say Hari Om to Dhruva, all of you. Hari Om, Dhruva. Yes. Dhruva is there disturbing me. Come on, Dhruva. Yes, I request Swamiji to play the Purna Kumbha before we commence the program.
Okay. So we have Janak who will first explain what is the Purna Kumbha, and then we have the chanting of the Purna Kumbha. Okay.
A pot full of water with rice and turmeric inside. There's a coconut on top, and around are mango leaves. On the pot is chandan and kumkum, and binding it all is a thread. This filled pot, or the complete pot, is called the Purna Kumbha, which we see in the pujas and rituals. The Purna Kumbha represents auspiciousness, which in its completeness flows to everyone. This also represents a sannyasi, one who is so full of knowledge with happiness and joy, spreads this wherever he goes, whoever he meets. In our tradition, we hold this Purna Kumbha and chant what is called as the Sannyasa Sukta to glorify this state of sannyasa. So let us chant this mantra and hold the Purna Kumbha to welcome our Swamiji, our chief speaker for today.
ॐ न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैवे अमृतत्वमानसु परेण नागं निहितं गुहायां विभ्राजयेद्यधियो विशन्ति वेदान्तविज्ञानसुनिश्चितार्था सन्न्यासयोगां यदिशुद्धसत्त्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोकेषु परान्धकारे परामृतावलिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे दक्रं विभावं परमेशभूतं यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमध्यसंस्थं तत्राविदक्रं गगनं विशोकस्तस्मिन् यदग्रस्तदुपासितव्यं यो वेदादोसरप्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यत्परः स महेश्वरः। बोलिए सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
That was wonderful. Yes, Mitaji.
Thank you, Janak and AKK Nair ji and Radha ji. They are very old devotees and sevaks of our Chinmaya mission. Thank you, all of them. So before we begin the program, we all invoke our gods and goddesses to help us to bless us to make this program successful. Yes? So I request Swamiji to open the prayers.
Yes. So these prayers also are by many children who have learned these prayers, and so here we are. We will be sharing that.
सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम् वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा हरि ओम् सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणे विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा हरि ओम् समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरु ब्रह्मविद्वरं हरि ओम्
Okay, wonderful prayers by all the children.
Thank you, Bhakti Zone Bal Vihar children. Thank you so much. Now, Smita Amma, I think we should begin the program. Are you not forgetting something? Yes, I know. There are many children who are new here. But what about them? They don't know who Swamiji is. I know him very well. Yes. But let others also know who is he and what he does. Then whom should we call? Our dear Neela Amma, the best storyteller I know till now after Swamiji. Okay. Okay, I request Neela Amma to come and introduce the Swamiji.
Yes.
Yeah, Hari Om. Am I audible?
Yes.
Your video is off.
Yeah, video if I put then there's a lot of confusion. Yeah, Hari Om. Param Pujya Swami Swatmanand Ji, Bal Vihar Sevaks, and dear little ones. Our beloved Swami Swatmanand Ji has been serving Chinmaya Mission Mumbai since 2000. He has a very pleasing personality. He expounds the philosophy of Advaita Vedanta through simple talks on the Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, and other texts of Vedanta and Bhakti through camps, meditation retreats, interactive sessions, and discussions for youth and adults. Children love him dearly and keenly look forward to his annual summer camps based on various themes like spirituality, Hindu culture, our nation India, and many more. He also inspires the youth with dynamic spirituality and encourages them to think and question. He uses various mediums like theater plays, tracks, outdoor experimental learning programs, music, etc., that creates interest for learning and gaining knowledge. He is always happy to answer all your questions based on Indian culture. He is techno-savvy and loves to provide his best to us all, and especially to the little ones like you. I'm sure you all love stories, right? And yes, Swamiji loves telling them too. So now be attentive and enjoy listening. Thank you, Smitaji, for giving me this golden opportunity to introduce Param Pujya Swami Swatmanandji. Over to you, Smitaji. Hari Om.
Thank you, Neela Amma. Thank you, Neela Amma. Okay, now all of you know about Swamiji. He tells us interesting stories, right? Are you all waiting? Yes, yes, yes. About us today. What about us? You are so small. Why we should we tell stories about you? I know everything. What do you know? Do you know everything? Do you know sky? Yes. Stars? Yes. What do you not know? Do you know anything about devotion? I know you're very small. You will not know anything. I know about devotion too. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kutra asti tava devaha? Atra asti mama devaha. Atra? Here? Yes. Kutra asti tava devaha? Tatra asti tava devaha. Is he everywhere? I'm testing you now. Sarvatra asti mama devaha. Well. I have only known devotees like me and Swamiji and others, big people. Why should I believe that there are small devotees too? Well, today my best friend Swamiji is going to tell us about child devotees. Swamiji, please. She's thinking that we cannot be devotees. Please tell us about devotees.
Okay, thank you, Smita ji and Dhruv. Thank you. It was very nice to listen to you. So, what Dhruv said is very correct. All of us can be devotees. All children also are devotees. Who is a devotee? Who loves ice cream is a devotee. A devotee can love ice cream, there is no problem. But who is a devotee? Swamiji, I know who is a devotee. Who is a devotee? One who does his duty and who eats is a devotee. So I go to school and I eat food. I am a devotee. A person who's praying, a person who loves God, very good, yes. And all of us love God. So all of us can be devotees. Some people love more, some people love less, but everybody loves God. And some people say, no, I don't believe in God. But after some time, they also change and they understand who is God is, then they also change. So it is not that only big people can be devotees. In fact, small children are having such pure mind that devotion comes naturally to all. The small children very easily believe in God and devotion arises and God also responds beautifully to them. Do you all feel you are devotees? Yes or no? You can lift your hand if you feel that yes, you are a devotee. Put your hand up. Yay! See, so many of us, we all are devotees. We all love God. So, devotee is simple, one who loves God. And where is God? Smita ji asked Dhruv, no? Tava deva kaha kutra asti atra asti va. Is your God here? What did Dhruv say? Yes, God is here also. God is there also. And God is everywhere. Inside us, outside us, everywhere God is there. So we can love God and we can see God. We can realize God. And it is not that we can be devotees only after we become old or we grow big. Today we will see the stories of some devotees who are small, who were children, and amazing devotion they had, and how beautifully they experienced God also. So I will tell you some stories. Okay. So first story we will start. There was one small child, about 7 years old, not very small baby, 7 years old like some of you. And this 7-year-old child, his name was Satyakam. So he went to one rishi called Gautam Rishi. And he wanted to study. And he had seen a lot of people, they go to in the olden days, they used to go to the house of the Guru, that is called Gurukul, like a residential school, So the people used to go there and they used to study the Vedas, they used to stay there, serve the teacher, gain knowledge, become very, knowledgeable, learn various skills. And after a few years of acquiring knowledge, they would come back to their family and they would, do their duties. So the Satyakam also thought, I want to know the truth. I want to know the supreme truth. I want to know about God. And so he said, I must go and get this knowledge about the Vedas, about God. So he took permission from his mother and he went to this rishi. What was the name of the rishi? I told you one name, no? Do you remember? What is the name of that rishi? Gautam Rishi. Yes, very good. All are attentive. Nice. So Gautam Rishi. So when he went there, he asked Gautam Rishi, he approached Gautam Rishi with great respect and humility. And you know how they used to go in the earlier days? They would take lot of dry twigs which are fallen from the trees and they would tie them up in a bundle and they will put that on their head, and with that bundle of dry twigs they will go to the Guru and then they will bow down and offer that bundle of twigs, those branches, small branches which fall from the tree, the twigs, because that twigs can be used in doing fire ritual, homa, havan. So they would give that as an offering to the Guru. And you know what is that symbolic of? That twig symbolizes that, if you put that twig into fire, what will happen? Immediately it will catch fire. So the twig is like the devotee's mind, this mind of the devotee must be very sharp. The moment the knowledge is given, one must grasp. Suppose you take charcoal and you have to light fire. Which one will catch fire faster? The twig or a charcoal? Type in the chat. What will catch fire faster, twig or charcoal? 3 people have said twig. Yes, twig will catch fire faster because charcoal takes more time to catch fire. And suppose you put the stalk of a plantain tree, will it catch fire? The stalk of a plantain tree has lot of water inside it. So it may not catch fire, it may actually put off the fire also sometimes. So how should our mind be? Should our mind be like a twig or a charcoal or the plantain tree stalk? What should our mind be like? It should be like twig, yes, very sharp and alert. Any knowledge, you are going to school, you are learning so many things, you should go with alert mind. Or otherwise what happens? Mind is like charcoal. It takes long time to understand something. And some people's mind is like stalk of a plantain tree. They will not learn anything. And who is learning also, they will confuse them also. So we should not be like that plantain tree. We must be like twig. So Satyakam took that bundle of twigs and he prostrated and he gave it to the master, Gautam Rishi. And he said, "Oh Gautam Rishi, I have come here to seek knowledge. I want to know the truth. I want to know God. Will you please teach me the Vedas?" So Gautam Rishi very lovingly accepted him and said, "Tell me, what is your name, O child?" So he says, "My name is Satyakam." Then Gautam Rishi said, "Tell me, what is your lineage? Who is your father? from what background he comes. So Satyakam said, "Oh Gautam Rishi, I had asked my mother about it, who is my father? And my mother said that she was married very young and she was busy with lot of household work. And the father passed away also some time back, very soon. And my mother does not know my lineage." So he told the truth, that I don't know who is my father. Can you imagine? Satyakam did not hide. He did not tell lies. He did not make up something, such and such is my father. No, he didn't say that. So the mother had told him the truth. The mother had taught him, tell always the truth, don't tell lies. And because if we tell lies, what we know is something else, what we speak is something else, how we act is something else. A human being should not do like that. What we think, we should speak, we should act, and all that should be aligned to good values. Don't say, Swamiji, I'm thinking of slapping that person, I'm going to insult that person, I went and slapped that person. No, not like that. What thought comes, we should discriminate, is good or bad. Only the good things we have to think, speak, and act, not anything that comes in our mind. So the mother had taught all these values. And the mother genuinely didn't know who is the father. And he went and told. It is something that is not very easy to tell. Suppose, you have to go and tell. If you say, no, I don't know who is my father, society will make fun of you and your parents, your mother and the family, etc. So it is not easy to tell the truth. And Satyakam was not some immature child who didn't know the consequences of that. But he knew. So he went and he said that I don't know who is my father, and my mother has, he said my mother had many associations with many men. She doesn't know who is my father. So he went and told the truth. Satyakam had that courage. To tell truth, you need great courage. And Gautam Rishi also accepted, said that you have the courage to tell the truth and you have that ability to hold the truth. So you are fit for knowledge. So it does not matter who your father is, what is your background. The only eligibility for knowledge is the mind must be pure, mind must be truthful, and it must be ready to accept the truth. And you are having that ability to accept the truth. So your name is also appropriate. You are Satyakam, one who desires truth, must be able to speak the truth, face the consequences of the truth. So I will accept you. And he accepted Satyakam in his Gurukul. And slowly Satyakam started staying there. He started serving Gautam Rishi. He started learning the different Vedas also. Now, a few months passed and the Guru called Satyakam one day and said, Satyakam, come here. He said, this place in our Gurukul, there are lots of cows, and this place is not sufficient for these cows to have grass because all the grass now is eaten up. There's not enough grass here. So you take these cows, he said, you take these 100 cows and go deep into the forest. Imagine one small boy, 7-year-old boy, and a few months he studied there. Then the teacher said, you take these 100 cows and go deep inside the forest where there is lots of grass, trees, rivers are there. So the cows can be fed properly there. So you go there and you stay there. When the cows become 1,000 in number, you bring them back. Imagine. 100 cows, they have to multiply and they become 1,000. Till that time, you have to stay there. Suppose you are a 7-year-old boy and you are told you have to live alone in the forest, deep in the jungle. And you have to take this 100 cows and go. What will you say? Will you go? Tell me, type in the chat. Tell me honestly, huh? We are talking about honesty. Will you go? No, we won't go. No. See, most of them. Hey, Shlok is saying yes. Very good. Arush is saying yes. Acha. Alone, huh? Remember, in jungle there is tiger, lion, cheetah, elephants, all the dangerous creatures, and you don't get your pizza, burger, bhel puri, pani puri, nothing. No cooked food there. And you have to cook, you have to find food also, cook also, live also, build your own house there. Imagine 7-year-old boy. Plus you have to take care of these 100 cows also. Imagine 7-year-old boy. My God. We today, we go to such schools where they give you experiential learning and projects and, outdoor exposure and co-curricular activities so that you don't study in only one classroom. This was there in our Gurukul in the Vedic times also. This Satyakam was sent into the forest saying, go, learn from nature. And when they become 100,000, from 100 cows to 1,000 cows, he has to multiply and then he has to bring back. Imagine he has to know so many things about the cows also. What did Satyakam do? He didn't say, no, Guru, I will not go. I'm very scared. I can't go alone. Can you please send somebody else in my place? Or will you send these 5 other friends of mine? We will go together and we will do. Or did he say that, no, I thought I will come and stay with you and study here. Now you are telling me to go to forest. I'm leaving this Gurukul. I'm going back to my house. Did he do that? No. He was very obedient to his teacher. Teacher said, yes. The teacher said, you go. So Satyakam said, okay, Guru, you have said, so I am going. And he took all these 100 cows and he went deep in the forest. And it was not easy. To live in the forest is not at all easy. In the beginning, he used to miss his home and he used to remember his mother. Oh, my mother is there. And she must be alone. And he used to remember the food of home also. She cooked so nice food and, rice and sambar and potato bhaji and this sweet, kheer, and how she used to feed me so nicely. And, here there is nothing like that. I have to eat only apple. I have to eat banana, all these things only which are available in the forest. Nobody is there to cook anything. So he used to miss his house, and in the house there's comfort of the bed and there is fan and you can sleep nicely, and if it is hot you put on the AC, if it is cold you have some heater, you have a warm blanket. He does not have anything in that forest. He sleeps on the ground. He makes, the bed with the grass and then he sleeps on that. And do you know, you try sleeping, you try spending one evening outside your house, in the garden. What will happen, When you come back in half an hour, you will come back in the house telling, Mummy, see my hand, Mummy, see my leg. So many mosquitoes have bit me. It's all red here. Because, lots of plants where they are there, forest is there are lots of mosquitoes. So this Satyakam, he was there. With all these difficulties, he stayed in the forest. And what was helping him, every day he used to sit and meditate. What his guru had taught him, he used to remember Bhagwan, he used to meditate sincerely, and then he used to serve the cows, he used to bathe them, he used to feed them grass, and slowly, he started absorbing himself in this work and meditation. And what he was missing, his home, his mother and the friends and all that, slowly, slowly his thoughts became quiet. He became so strong in his mind and he adapted to the lifestyle of the forest. And all the animals there also, they came to understand this Satyakam is a harmless child. So they also started loving him. And he was living harmoniously and he was growing. So a few years passed like that. And one day this Satyakam, he was meditating. And suddenly, you know what happened? He heard a human voice. And he heard, what did he hear? He said, Satyakam, I am the wind god. I am Vayu Devata. I am very pleased with you. I have come here to give the knowledge of the Lord to you. Satyakam looked around. He said, I can't see any human being here. From where this human voice is coming? And you know what he saw? There was a bull amidst so many cows. There was a bull also. It was that bull who was looking at him, and through that bull, the wind god was talking. And this Vayu Devata said that I am talking to you through this bull. I have come here to give you that spiritual knowledge. And I'm very pleased with you. You know, it is not easy to gain this knowledge, but by your service, by your obedience to your teacher, by your fearlessness, by your quality of being truthful, you have earned so much of merit that now I will give you this spiritual knowledge. You want to know about God, so I will tell you about God. And so through the bull, he got the knowledge. So what knowledge did Vayu Devata give him? So the Vayu Devata said, you know, God is called Brahman. Brahman means that which is the biggest. And that Brahman is in the north also, in the east also, in the west also, in the south also, in all the directions God is there. And you also can realize that God. So when he heard this, that Bhagwan is everywhere, in all the things, in all the directions, up, down, inside, outside, everywhere God is there, Satyakam felt very grateful. He said, thank you so much, Vayu Devata. You have taught me this. Earlier I knew only information wise, but now I can feel that everything is the presence of the divine only. God alone is appearing as all this. So I'm very, very thankful to you. And you know, Vayu Devata said, I bless you. You will get lots of knowledge, which is not easy for people to get in many, many lifetimes also. You are getting that in this such a small young age. So I bless you. And I have a good news for you. What is that good news? That now your cows have become 1,000. You know, Satyakam went at 7 years and a few years passed and the cows have become 1,000. He said, now you can return to your Guru. Satyakam was so happy that, Hare Vah! Just imagine, he was so absorbed in doing his seva and taking care of the cows, doing his meditation, living in harmony with nature, that he actually did not count every day. He was not impatient, Hare, I want to go back home and I want to eat that pizza and pani puri. How long can I eat this fruit here? I don't want to live here. I don't like here. I know, jaldi, this cow should multiply. Then I will go back home. He didn't feel like that. He followed what his Guru said and he was serving all these cows and they became 1,000. So when Vayu Devata said this good news, he says, thank you so much for informing me. Now Vayu Devata said, you count all the cows and then you go back. So he started counting all the cows and they are more than 1,000. So he felt so happy. He said, now I can go back to my Guru. See, he didn't feel happy, yeah, I will go home, I can sleep on the bed, I can see the television, I can see this, what is that, Pokemon or some Chota Bheem or anything like that. He felt happy that I can go home. I mean, I can go back to my guru and I followed my guru's instructions and my work is done. So my guru will be very happy with me. So he started taking all these cows. And do you know, there was a bond between him and the cows. He could understand what the cows are feeling. Cows could understand what he is thinking. That is the bond he has built. Amazing bond. That's how he was able to hear that bull also talking about God. And Vayu Devata was talking through that bull. So he took all the bulls and the cows and he was returning. But you know, he has gone very, very deep inside the forest. So it's not possible to return in one day to his Gurukul. But he started from his place and he was walking with all these, you know, bulls and the cows. Just imagine 1,000 cows and bulls. Is it easy for one person to bring? Imagine for one parent to handle 2 children only becomes so difficult. One child in one hand, other child in another hand. They keep running here and there. Array, one child goes there, you go there. By the time this fellow is gone somewhere else. So a parent goes struggling with that 2 children only. This Satyakam had 1,000 bulls and cows. Imagine. So he took all of them and they were going. Now it is night time, almost evening and night. So they halted in one place and he, you know, told all of them, they all sat down and they were all taking rest. So he lit the fire. Because night time, you know, and it may be warm, it may be cold, so you need some warmth also, and the wild animals also, if they are there, then fire helps. So he lit fire. And what happened suddenly? When he lit fire, fire started talking to him. Can you imagine? The fire is saying that, you know, I am Agni. And I am very pleased with you. You have done such great service and you have been so pious, so noble, so righteous, so truthful. So I have also come to tell you about God. That God is not only in the directions and everywhere, but God is also there in the earth, in the atmosphere, in the sky, in the oceans. That Bhagavan is in all the 5 elements also. Satyakam said, "Oh Agni Devta, I am so thankful to you that you gave me this knowledge." And Agni Devta blessed him. So you know, when Vayu Devta blessed him, Agni Devta blessed him, this knowledge has gone inside him and he is transformed. At that time, he also saw there was a swan which was flying across the sky. And this swan which was flying, suddenly that swan also stopped, came down and sat near this Satyakam. Imagine a bird, if it has to come near you, will any bird come easily to you? Birds will, you have to be so peaceful in mind that the bird does not feel scared of you. Otherwise, you try going near a sparrow or a crow. Will they stay there? The moment you go close, they will run away. They will fly away. But this swan came automatically to Satyakam. Why? Because all the animals there, birds there, they know that Satyakam is a very loving, harmless child. And so Satyakam, the swan came near Satyakam and sat down there. And you know, amazing thing what happened. That swan also was talking in human voice. Just imagine, bull is talking in human voice, Agni is talking in human voice, then the swan is also talking in human voice. And what did the swan say? The swan said, you know, in this world, what are the sources of light? Can you tell me what are the sources of natural light in this world? Right. Natural light comes from where? Very good, sun. Sun, very good. Apart from sun, anything else? Not devotion. Sun, moon, stars. Vrinda is saying, very good, excellent. So sun, moon, stars, fire. Superb. There's one more source. Firefly and glowworm, they are not source of light for everyone. They just emit some light, little light. They look very cute, but glowworm and this firefly. Moon, sun, fire, and one more is there, and that is called lightning. So this Agni Devta said, this swan said, in this world, fire, moon, the lightning, and the sun, these are sources of light, and God manifests as all this in the world outside, and that God manifests inside us also as fire. Do you know where is God as fire in our body? God is there as fire in our body. Where? In our heart. No. God is there as fire in our body, in our stomach. The food that we eat is digested by God. Bhagavan says in 15th chapter, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritaha. I am in the body as the metabolic fire. Today they call it as metabolic fire. Because if you put food inside, how that food is getting transformed into energy? Have you thought? Think about it. If you put food in fire, in general fire, if you put food, what will happen? It will burn away. But in the body, Bhagavan is there who is doing digestion and energy is being released and we feel energetic. I drank 1 glass of milk and hot milk, chocolate milk. Aha, I feel so strong. How that is happening? You to drank milk happily. And then you'd happily eat some ice cream, eat some paratha, some paneer, and then go to sleep. Who digests the food? Bhagavan is digesting the food, no, inside. Luckily, Bhagavan is digesting. Otherwise, what will happen? If you and I have to digest, suddenly one day Suresh does not go to school. Why Suresh didn't come to school? Because Suresh is busy digesting. Last 3 days he forgot to digest food, so now Suresh has to digest food. And then he will get energy, then he will come. If Bhagavan leaves digestion to us, we will be finished. Luckily, Bhagavan is digesting food for us. We can eat and sleep away, but he is sitting and digesting. So he is the fire in us. He is the fire outside. He is the light. He is the sun. He is the moon. So the swan said, whenever you see all these, you should remember God. And everything that you are doing also is because of God. And that God is consciousness. So the Satyakam, he said, thank you so much. Because who was this? It was a Devta called Aditya who was speaking through the swan. So Vayu Devta spoke through the bull, Agni Devta spoke through the fire, Aditya, who is Surya, is speaking through the swan. And finally what happened? Satyakam got up in the morning. The swan went away. After saying this, Satyakam went to sleep. The night passed beautifully. And in the morning he got up and he was coming. As he was coming closer to Gurukul, there was a diver bird. And the diver bird spoke to Satyakam and said, Satyakam, you know about God in the 4 directions. You know about God in the earth, in the sky, in the ocean, in the atmosphere. You know about God in the sun, in the moon, in the lightning, in the fire. And God is inside you also. God is in your breath. Suppose our breathing stops. Will we be alive? We will all die. So, breath also is because of God, breath is functioning. And God is in our eyes. We are able to see because of God. We are able to hear because of God. So he says, God is in your breath, in your eyes, in your ears. And do you know where else God is? God is in our mind also. We are able to think because of God. So he said, oh Satyakam, God is inside you also. And Satyakam thanked the diver bird. And by this time, Satyakam has gained all the knowledge about God that he wanted. And the cows have become 1,000. The bulls are also there. As he was coming, his guru, what is the name of his guru? Do you remember? Gautam Rishi, yes. So his guru, Gautam Rishi, when he saw Satyakam coming, there was such a glow on Satyakam's face because he knows the truth. And this guru was so proud that here is my boy Satyakam who has achieved his goal and he has got the knowledge of God. He has become enlightened and he is coming after accomplishing his job, a very successful person. Anybody who achieves the goal they set, a high goal they set, is a successful person. And here the guru had said, when the cows multiply and become 1,000, you bring them back. So he achieved his goal also. He got the knowledge also. He obeyed his guru also. He was very truthful. He communicated with nature. And when Satyakam came, he prostrated to his guru and he said, oh Guru, I am so thankful to you. You gave me this wonderful opportunity. And see the humility of Satyakam. He said, it is all by your grace and God's blessings that I have been able to accomplish this task. I am very, very thankful. He didn't say that, oh Guru, do you know, I got realized. In forest, what all happened? Bull can talk to me. I can talk to fire. Swan can talk to me. And, I have become so great. Did he come and boast in front of his guru? No. What did he do? Very humbly he said, I am so thankful. Oh Guru, it is your grace that I was able to stay in the forest. I was safe and I was able to get this knowledge and accomplish the task you have given. So I'm very, very, very thankful. And Satyakam stayed for some more time in the Gurukul, learning from his guru many other things. And do you know, there is a whole Upanishad called Jabala Upanishad because his mother's name was Jabala. So that Jabala Upanishad, the author of that is Satyakam Rishi. In the Vedas it is there. So it is a historical story and a Vedic story and beautiful learnings we have. So from Satyakam we should learn these qualities, that it is the righteousness, truthfulness, obedience to the guru, single-pointed devotion for knowledge, the open-mindedness to learn from nature, ensuring that one is humble. All these qualities we can learn. And as children, when we imbibe all these qualities, our life will be successful. In whatever we do, we will be successful and we will also remember God every day. So like Satyakam used to meditate every day on God. So that way, one should learn some of these beautiful things from Satyakam. So this is one story. Now, one more story. There was a small girl, who was taken by her parents to the Mandir of Vitthal in Pandharpur. And this small girl, she was born in Gargakhed near Godavari, and the father's name was Dama. And this small girl, when she was taken to Pandharpur one day, she saw the form of Vitthal Bhagwan and she felt so happy. She said, "Arey, this Bhagwan is so amazing, so lovely, so charming." And she told her father I don't want to come back here, from here. Father tried to convince her a lot, but she didn't come back. She said, I want to stay here. I want to serve Vitthal Bhagwan only. So she stayed in the temple and she started doing seva of the devotees and the work in the temple. Once what happened, Namdev Bhagwan, great saint Namdev came there. And when Namdev came there and he saw this small girl and the parent is not there, father has gone back, the temple people told him what all happened. So Namdev adopted that girl and Namdev took her with him and she used to stay at home of Namdev and she used to serve. The wife of Namdev taught her various things of house, what to do, what seva is required, and she started living there because Namdev was a great devotee of Vitthal Bhagwan. And she started getting satsang of Namdev ji, she started on listening to bhajans and abhangs and all that. And she would want to have darshan of Vitthal Bhagwan. You know, Namdev used to play with Vitthal Bhagwan. Namdev used to talk to Vitthal Bhagwan. For him, Bhagwan was not a murti. Like you and I are talking, he can talk to Bhagwan. Bhagwan was in a form for Namdev, Sant Namdev. So, this Janabai is her name. The small girl's name is Jana. So this Jana also thought, I also want to have the darshan of Vitthal Bhagwan. I also want to see him. I also want to talk to him. So she used to cry and she used to pray to Vitthal Bhagwan that, oh Lord, please bless me with your darshan. Please let me have the opportunity to serve your lotus feet. And when she used to wash the clothes, tears used to come through her eyes. And she would say that, I'm waiting, oh Lord, every day. When will you come? When will you give darshan to me? And, she used to feel that, please don't tease me, oh Lord. Such a pure mind she had that, please, Bhagwan, don't tease me. Quickly give me darshan. I really want to see you. A lot of love she used to call out Bhagwan. And she used to say that, how long can I wait for you? Oh, beloved of Rukmani, how long can I wait for you? I am a servant of Namdev and I am genuinely seeking your darshan. Please, please bless me. I am a small child. Please give me darshan. So in that way, when Janabai sang, Vitthal Bhagwan gave her darshan also. Can you imagine small child Janabai? She got the darshan of Vitthal Bhagwan, and Vitthal Bhagwan used to come and do all the work with her. So if she is grinding the wheat and making into flour, Vitthal Bhagwan is to come and sit. So one hand is Janabai's hand, other hand is Vitthal Bhagwan's hand, and they used to grind together. Imagine. When she used to sweep the house, Bhagwan would collect the dust in the dust collector and go and put it in the dustbin. If she is washing the clothes, Bhagwan used to help her to dry the clothes. Can you imagine? Bhagwan was so loving and he was helping Janabai also beautifully. One day what happened, very strange thing happened. Vitthal Bhagwan came and he was helping Janabai, and then Janabai, when all work was over, he put Janabai to sleep also. When he put Janabai to sleep, Bhagwan has to go back, So he left, he had removed his ornament and his shawl, and he was doing all the work, because you can't do all the work with your shawl and ornaments and all the crown and everything. So he had put all that aside and he was helping Janabai. Then when the work got over, he put Janabai to sleep. And that day, what happened? When he was going back, he didn't take his shawl and his ornaments. He took the blanket of Janabai, extra blanket which was there, he took that and he wore that and he went back So next morning, when the priests at Pandharpur opened the temple, they saw what, that Bhagwan's necklace, crown, his shawl is all missing, and there is one blanket there. Can you imagine? There's just one blanket. So what happened? There was an inquiry, and the guards and the news reached the king, and then the guards and everybody searching. And finally they came to Jana by Namdev's house, and they saw that, Arey, this shawl and these ornaments are in Janabai's room. So they immediately captured her. And when they captured her, there was a lot of commotion there, and everybody knew that Namdev is a great devotee of Lord Vitthal. But the Janabai, they did not trust. Namdev was very quiet. He knew that Vitthal Bhagwan is doing some leela, some drama he is doing, just to show to people what is the devotion of Janabai. So he was not bothered in his mind. He knew Janabai has not stolen anything. But the guards took Janabai away. And then what happened? The people there, they gave up punishment to Janabai that she should be thrown on a shula, on a like trishul what we have. Shivji has a trishul. So there is one trishul which is kept, and from a great height, the person who has done an offense or a crime is pushed, and that person will fall on the trishul and die a very painful death. So they said Janabai stole the clothes and the ornaments of Bhagwan, and she deserves death punishment. We will push her from the top. So they tied Janabai. Imagine, small girl, they tied her, and she was going. In her mind, she was constantly praying to Vitthal, saying, Vitthal Bhagwan, it is your Leela, you know everything, I have not done anything. Please be with me at this time. Please show me your face. Please give me darshan. And Vitthal Bhagwan was playing mischief with her Janabai. So in the beginning, he didn't come. And imagine, Janabai is going closer and closer and closer to that shula. Bhagwan is not coming. And just few seconds before, Bhagwan came and stood behind Janabai with his hands on Janabai, saying, I am here. And Janabai felt so happy, saying, yes, my Vitthal is with me. She did not have any fear. And she was smiling because Vitthal Bhagwan is with me. And what they did, they untied her hands. Now only she can see Vitthal Bhagwan. Others cannot see. And what they did, when they untied her hands from behind, they took her to a mountain top, and down there is a shula. Now they have to push her. And they pushed her also. Imagine if you and I are there, what will we say? No, I have not stolen. I have not done this. Vitthal only left it in my house. One will defend. And even if one is given punishment, one will say, this is unfair. I don't want to face this, And one may be scared also. One may cry, one may feel scared. She didn't feel any of that. She said, Vitthal Bhagwan is with me. He knows what is the best. And that small little girl, they threw her from the mountain. But you know what happened? When they threw her from the mountain, that whole Trishul melted and it became a lake, nice little lake, and Janabai fell into that water. Even there were people who were having swords in their hands who would be there to kill that person who has done the crime. All the swords of those people also melted. And this Janabai was received by Vitthal Bhagwan in his arms, and then she went into the water, then came out of that water, and all the people standing there, they were stunned. Oh. And at that time, Vitthal Bhagwan gave darshan to everyone, saying that Janabai has not stolen anything. I have left it in her room, and I was serving with her, helping her to do her work. So I have left it in the room. She has not stolen anything. And people were so happy. Namdev also praised Janabai a lot. Vitthal Bhagwan and Namdev took Janabai. They both were so happy and everybody came. They were praising Janabai. They apologized to her. So this is a beautiful story of this great devotee called Janabai. So we learnt about Satyakam and we learnt about Janabai. Janabai is from Maharashtra only. And a very, very great devotee of the Lord. So you can read more about. So both these devotees, you can find out more about them, about Satyakam and about Janabai also. So did you enjoy these two stories today? Good. I'm so happy. Will we become like these devotees who will always speak truth, who will always be devoted to God, who always will remember the Lord? And we should always remember that Bhagwan can give us darshan. We should not feel that we will not have darshan of Bhagwan. Yes, Janabai's story is real story. It is documented also. I am, even if you want to, you can read from this book, Saints of Maharashtra. There's a nice book by Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, Saints of Maharashtra. So it is a real story. Okay, so today, instead of an activity, because we learnt about devotion and we learnt about the great child devotees, we have something else for you. So Smita ji will tell you what next we have for you.
Wait, Swamiji, I'm going to tell. Vitthale Rakhumai Jai Vithoba Rakhumai. Vitthale Rakhumai Jai Jai Vithoba Rakhumai. Radhe Shyama Panduranga Vitthale Rakhumai. Preeti Didi, are you there? Yes, Preeti Didi is going to teach us a nice song like how I sang. Over to Preeti Didi.
Okay, yes, 1 minute.
Hariom Swamiji, thank you. I was out of the network, so my co-host ship went back.
Yes.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you. Okay, so Hariom to everybody. So after that, super powerful and honest bhajan, story by our Swamiji. Yes, now it's time for some exercise and move ourselves. Yes, because we have been lazy now sitting, and I could see you all moving around. When we listen to a story, we have to sit and listen, isn't it? We cannot dance, we cannot get up, we cannot walk and listen. But now it's time for our bhajan, where we have to shake ourselves, move our body, and have all fun. Yes? So are we all ready then? Are we all ready? Yes. So do you all want to sit and sing the bhajan, or do you all want to stand? Oh, yes, I can see you all standing. Great. Great. That's nice. So let us all stand, and even Didi is going to stand for you all. Okay. Okay. So you all can follow the action and sing along there, wherever you all are. Yes? Are we all ready? But if you all are ready, I need to see this on the screen, because nowadays we all are virtual, right? So when I say, are you ready? You all are going to do this action. Oh, yes. Come on. Are you all ready?
Yes.
Okay, so I can see you all getting ready, and you all must be knowing this bhajan. It is Khate Bhi Ram Kaho, Peete Bhi Ram. Okay, so now get ready for all the movement and the music and masti with your Didi and Swamiji. Okay, yes, so here we go. Khate bhi Ram kaho, peete bhi Ram kaho. Khate bhi Ram kaho, peete bhi Ram kaho. सोते भी राम कहो राम राम राम, सोते भी राम कहो राम 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 बोलो राम 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 बोलो राम राम राम
राम राम राम राम राम राम राम राम।
उठते भी राम कहो गिरते भी राम कहो
उठते भी राम कहो गिरते भी राम कहो।
उठते भी उठते भी राम कहो फिरते भी राम कहो
उठते भी राम कहो गिरते भी राम कहो।
गिरते भी राम कहो राम 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 चलो गिरो
उठते भी राम कहो राम राम राम।
चलो राम 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 बोलो राम राम राम
राम राम राम राम राम राम राम राम राम राम।
पढ़ते भी राम कहो पढ़ते भी राम कहो लिखते भी राम कहो
पढ़ते भी राम कहो लिखते भी राम कहो।
पढ़ते भी राम कहो लिखते भी राम कहो
पढ़ते भी राम कहो लिखते भी राम कहो।
सुनते भी राम कहो राम राम राम
सुनते भी राम कहो राम राम राम।
सुनते भी राम कहो राम राम राम
सुनते भी राम कहो राम राम राम।
बोलो राम 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 बोलो
राम 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 राम।
खेलते भी राम कहो जीते भी राम कहो
खेलते भी राम कहो जीते भी राम कहो।
खेलते भी राम कहो जीते भी राम कहो
खेलते भी राम कहो जीते भी राम कहो।
हारते भी राम कहो राम राम राम
हारते भी राम कहो राम राम राम।
अरे हारते भी राम कहो राम राम राम
हारते भी राम कहो राम राम राम।
बोलो राम 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 राम
बोलो राम 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 राम।
सब है ना जोर से हंसने चाहिए ठीक है हंसते भी राम कहो रोते भी राम कहो हंसते भी राम कहो रोते भी राम कहो हंसते भी राम कहो रोते भी राम कहो
हंसते भी राम कहो रोते भी राम कहो।
मरते भी राम कहो राम राम राम
मरते भी राम कहो राम राम राम।
मरते भी राम कहो राम राम राम
मरते भी राम कहो राम राम राम।
चलो बोलो जोर से बोलो राम 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 बोलो राम 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 बोलो राम 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 बोलो राम 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 बोलो जय श्री राम
जय श्री
Jai Shri
राम।
Ram.
were you all full into enjoyment? Did you all get more energy back? Are we all ready for the next story session then? Huh? Oh, Swamiji is doing like this. Oh, not today, but okay.
Next
Okay, yes,
story,
very soon. Yes, Swamiji.
story session is next month.
Yes. So we will be waiting for it. So, Hari Om, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Over to Smita.
Bolo Ram, 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 Ram. Jai Vithala. Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.
Thank you, Preeti Didi. I also danced and enjoyed. Thank you so much. You should all thank Preeti Didi, yes? Yes?
Welcome,
Yes.
welcome, welcome.
Indeed, we learned a lot of things. See, Smita Amma, didn't I tell you there are child devotees? Yes, now I agree my defeat. Well, I learned a lot of things, children. The first one, the new thing was about the twigs. I never knew that I can learn something from the twigs. Thank you so much, Swamiji. Did you all learn something from the twigs? What was that, Sashant? You learned what Swamiji taught about twigs?
That the twigs are the twigs are only that can be that are very attentive and very smart.
Very good. See, excellent, superb. See, I saw so many children who were so attentive, that Pari, Vedanshi, Apurva, Dikshita, Shlok,
Ma'am, my name is Devanshi.
Devanshi. Okay, I'm sorry. So many, all the children here so attentive listening to the story. I was also mesmerized. I accepted defeat from Dhruva. Dhruva taught me a nice thing today. I accept you all can be devotees. I'm very sorry, children. I'm very, very sorry about it. Okay. Hope all of you learned something from Satyakama. He told only the truth, right? And he got the messages from the swan, from the Vayu, from the fire, from the diver bird. Yes. And he learned so many things about the nature. He learned so many things. He could talk to animals. You also can talk to animals, right?
Yes.
Yes, very good. I also enjoyed. And who is that girl, small girl? Janabai. Who never
Janabai.
gave up. Right? I really loved her story. I'm also going to buy that book and read now about Janabai. I never knew about Janabai. I only know a little bit about her, but I loved her story a lot. Wow, what a girl. I think Suvira wants to become like her, right, Suvira? Apurva? Yes?
Me too, ma'am.
Yes, you too. Very, very good. Thank you so much, Swamiji, for telling us such a beautiful story of Janabai, right? And Satyakama. There are more child devotees apart from them that you will have to search. So my activity for you is that you all have to find out about a small boy. I'm only going to give you a hint. What did Didi say? You have to be very alert.
Yes.
To listen, okay? So that is, you have to find out about a small boy, and the clue is, on that boy, a pole star was named. A pole star was named on him. You cannot tell it yet. Yes. So you have to find out the story of Dhruva, okay, the pole star, and you can tell the story in your own words, make a video and send it to us. Yes?
Okay.
Yes, you have to read the story of Dhruva. You can even make a nice star, pole star. Yeah, with origami, you can make a nice pole star. Using that pole star, you can show and you can tell a story of Dhruva.
I love to listen.
Yes, I know it's your story. Wait.
Dhruv.
Yes, Dhruv. Yes, the pole star. I loved his story as a young child. Okay, so I know. All of you have to.
Dhruva.
Yes, look. Yeah.
I know the story of Dhruva.
Very good. So what you have to do is you have to record nicely with nice voice. Okay. And you can record the story and send it to us. Let us see. All of you are good storytellers, I know. So you're all going to send us the story. Done? Yes? Very good. Excellent.
Ma'am, yes.
Yes.
I want to say something to Dhruv.
Yes, Devanshi.
I want to say something to Dhruv.
Yes, please tell me.
That I want to say that I listen your brother's stories of Ram.
Oh, thank you. Okay, but now this time you have to make a video of story of Dhruva, okay? And
Okay.
now we will have to go, but next month we are meeting. So see the Satyakama loved nature. So next month Swamiji is going to tell us 9 stories on how the nature, how we are going to be so grateful to the nature. Okay, gratefulness of the nature. He's going to tell the gratefulness of nature. See, if we love nature, nature will love us. Correct? So he's going to tell us the story on the gratefulness of nature. This is something surprising and I want to attend and hear. So all of you who are here have to come next month. I'm going to come and see all of you, okay? All of you are going to come and listen to the stories of the gratefulness of the nature. Done? Pakka? So before we close the program, we will listen to the pledge. Okay?
Yes. So
Pledge
before we
and the
go,
ending prayer.
yes,
Thank you,
before we
Swamiji.
go to the pledge and the ending prayer, the topic we have is gratefulness to nature, but we will do it not on 11th, we will do it on 18th December, okay? 1 week later. Instead of 11th December, we will do on 18. I will post on the groups also. 18 December, 5:30 p.m. will be our session on gratefulness to nature. Okay?
Okay.
Now, let's do
Okay.
Aarti. All of you can sing along with that. We will play the video. First, we will take the pledge, then the Aarti, and then concluding prayer. Okay? One by one. So, Shaurya Satish is taking the pledge. Vishakha will do the Aarti, and Vivan Bangera and Ananya Pillai will do the closing prayers.
Hari Om. We stand as one family, bound to each other with love and respect. We serve as an army, courageous and disciplined, ever ready to fight against all evil tendencies and false values within and without us. We live honestly the noble life of sacrifice and service, producing more than that we consume and giving more than that we take. We seek the Lord's grace to keep us on the path of virtue, courage and wisdom. May Thy grace and blessings flow through us to the world around us. We believe that the service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords, and with devotion to the people is the devotion to the Supreme Self. We know our responsibilities, gives us the ability and courage to fulfill them. Om Tat Sat.
आरति श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूपमो रति करुणा की आरति श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की दिव्य रूपमो रति करुणा की आरति सद्गुरु की चरणों में उनकी शांति समाए शरणागत की भ्रांति मिटाए पाप ताप संताप हरण की आरति श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरति सद्गुरु की वेद उपनिषद गीता को गाया धर्म सनातन फिर से जगाया शुद्ध नीति प्रीति शंकर की आरति श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरति सद्गुरु की सिद्धपादि की तपोभूमि में नित्य विराजे गुरु हमारे भक्त हृदय आनंद स्रोत के आरति श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरु की आरती सद्गुरु की, आरती सद्गुरु की। बोलिए सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।
ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदक्ष्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।
Okay, so Hari Om, all of you. It was nice to interact with all of you, lovely children, and we will look forward for the next month. I thank Smita ji, Preeti ji, all the sevaks of the Chinmay Bhakti Zone, and all the children and everyone who has put their efforts to make these beautiful videos, right from Purna Kumbha explanation till this, concluding prayers. Everybody has put all these efforts to make these videos. So to all of them, the parents, the elders, my sincere gratitude and thank you very much. We shall meet once again, and next month we will continue the last session of 8 GHD, the 8th session we will have next month. Hari Om, stay safe, stay happy, everyone.